Uh-oh. Here comes trouble.
This is Wyatt Hedrick, BW Blade senior goalie, and you're listening to the Grovcast.
Straight from Twin Town Sports Central! Yeah, I'm painting it blue like David Cross from Arrested Development, you know? What's up, boys and girls? It's Eric Rover here, and you have tuned into the Grovcast. Yeah, okay. Let's get going this week. Lots of stuff going on. A bit of sad news to start this week. The NDSCS men's basketball team has lost a game. Whoa. Yeah, it's true. It happened. Happened Thursday night, in which Williston State College, who doesn't have the best overall season record, played their best game of the year and put up 102 points. Taught the Cats a lesson, and I think this will be good for NDSCS. They're not out of first place in the conference. They still have a great shot at hosting the Region 13 championship. You know, it's not panic mode, but it's just a wake-up call. And I think maybe that's what they need right now. They need to know that they're not invincible. I mean, Williston just came in and shot the lights out. And what are you going to do when a team shoots almost 60%? I think that this is a problem that will generate some positive solutions for Coach Schumacher and the guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle it in their next few games. Also wanted to give a quick shout-out to the BW Blades hockey team. Big article in the Daily News this week about their return to the playoffs, going up against Fergus Falls on Tuesday. Tuesday's going to be... Yeah, I talk really well. Tuesday's going to be a great night of local sports, as not only the Blades are going, but the Wahpeton boys basketball team has a big showdown with Red River, the EDC unbeaten leader. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at this week. Let's go right into Miles and Landon. Here they are. I can hear the stare in my headphones. Alright, let's get right into it here. Moving along on the Grovcast, it's time for our weekly discussion with heartthrobs, Landon, Kafka, and Miles Trump. Gentlemen, what are you talking about?
Heartthrobs?
Did I stutter?
We're not sure yet.
Did I stutter? Do you guys watch The Office?
Occasionally.
Do you remember that episode? The Did I Stutter, where Stanley and Michael Scott have the showdown? Anyway. Yeah. Well, hey guys, welcome back. Hey, Landon, how was your past couple days at the District 1 tournament?
We had a lot of basketball to cover the last couple of days, and it went pretty well. I figured the Warbirds would take down the District 1 tournament, but they were defeated by the Milner Bison, who were also a good team.
Yeah.
But it was a good game, and Milner and Linemeer and Hankinson are all moving on to the region tournament, so we'll see what happens there next week.
Yeah. Now, who's the top team that you've been covering?
The top team I've been covering is definitely Winemeer Lidgerwood, or Lidgerwood Winemeer in the winter. In the winter, it's Lidgerwood Winemeer.
It changes?
Yes.
So
in the fall, it's Winemeer Lidgerwood.
So when you write stories, do you have to reverse the order?
Yes.
Is that confusing?
Yes.
Is it frustrating?
I didn't even know about it until a week and a half ago. It's part of their rules of their co-op, it's part of their bylaws that they changed for the fall and winter sports.
I would like to know how that bylaw came around.
Hey, you never know.
So what's been going on with you, man?
A lot of reporting on a lot of different topics.
Yeah. It's
a busy time.
Man,
the daily news.
These last few days have just been absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's playoff time, and yeah, I don't even know.
Well, big paper coming out next week. shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
But we'll have a big paper coming out.
Well, if they're
with a lot of
listening,
special
if
sections.
you're listening to this, you obviously are a subscriber
Exactly,
already.
yeah. You care.
Otherwise, you have no idea that this exists.
You care.
Probably not.
I'm not reaching that national audience that I'm pulling for quite yet. People around the country.
There will be a nice Lidgerwood Winemere profile. Or
A Lidgerwood Winemere.
Winemere Lidgerwood and Lidgerwood
Which one?
Winemere. From both. From
Both.
fall sports, profiling how well they've done in fall and winter sports this year.
Why does it change, though?
I told you, it's just their rule.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Is it just so, you know,
It's
they,
so
they,
both
they both
schools-
get the lead?
Yes, exactly.
That's stupid.
Hey, I don't make the rules.
All right. I don't either.
He just reports them.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Miles and I were sitting here waiting for you to get here because you're always late. And you are. You're always the last one to roll.
Whatever.
To the right.
You told me it was going to be at 7. I was ready at 7.
I told you
all
so.
right? And then I got hungry. I made some food.
I need some shrimp quesadillas. Anyway, we were watching, and Jeremy Lin has got 6 points and 9 dimes at the half.
Update, I got an update for you.
An update. What? I wish I had the. I would. Burr, 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 burr.
I think you just did it.
Yeah, there it is.
13 assists are a high for a Nick this season. A Knickerbocker.
In Knickerbocker.
Yeah,
13
most-
assists are a high for a Knickerbocker ever.
Yeah, most by a Knicks player since Raymond Felton last year.
Wow. Yeah, Raymond Felton is out of a job, man. How about this Lynn guy, man? I'm loving him. I am loving him. I'm sold. To me, he's the best sports story since the Saints winning the Super Bowl after Katrina.
Yeah, I think he's a great story, too.
I agree that, yes, he is a great story, but he's just in the hype machine now, and it annoys me greatly.
This is why.
Today at Sports Center, 6 o'clock, it was top 10 Jeremy Lin plays. That was the top
Already.
10 plays. It was Jeremy Lin.
Yeah.
It's like 6 games. Like, come on, would you trade Jeremy Lin for Kevin Durant? No. Would you trade him for Blake Griffin? No.
No.
Would you trade him for Kevin Love? No. You wouldn't trade him for any of these guys. You wouldn't trade him for Chris Paul. You wouldn't trade him for Kobe. You wouldn't trade him for LeBron. You wouldn't trade him for
Yeah,
D-Wade.
you're listing the top 10 play. The
But
top
I'm
10
saying,
players
like,
in the league.
why it's the last, 4 days, all you hear about is Jeremy Lin.
Are they going to ruin Jeremy Lin like they ruined Tebow?
Probably. They probably are. To me, they
It's
are.
starting already?
I mean, I appreciate the fact of what he's doing. I mean, he scored the most points in his first 6 starts out of anybody ever. That's pretty sweet. He came off the couch, out of Harvard, whatever. The Asian American angle, which is huge for the NBA, because the NBA lost Yao Ming, but now China's sold out of counterfeit Jeremy Lin merchandise. So I mean, and to me, it's like the NBA and ESPN are doing a great job of selling the NBA, and they're riding Jeremy Lin's coattails right now.
For sure,
because
yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's the question is why wouldn't you?
He plays in the biggest market.
Yeah,
And
but I'm
he's
saying if he
the
played,
guy off the couch,
if he
literally.
played in Portland, would it be like this? No, probably
No.
wouldn't.
No, I agree with you. I don't think it would.
Yeah.
They had an interesting little scenario on, I think it was First Take today. They said if,
ESPN's first take,
yes, ESPN's First
the
Take.
talking head yelling at each other show.
Yes, that show.
Okay.
If Jeremy Lin and Eli Manning walk in to a sort of,
A bar.
yeah, we'll just say,
Or a restaurant. Sure.
we'll say a high-end, nice, glamorous restaurant in Manhattan.
They don't have those in Manhattan, do they?
There might be one.
A couple? Okay. This is all theoretical, but please continue.
And there's only one seat left.
Who gets it?
Who gets it?
I don't know.
I mean, I just think it's just an interesting story. And I don't know how good Jeremy Lin is going to be 2 years from now. He might still be a good player. He might be an all-star. He might not be. But I think it's just the fact of what he's doing now is something that everyone can kind of revel in and get caught up in the moment. And looking down the road, you never know. All I know is that Jeremy Lin has haters already, and that means you've arrived if you have haters.
Who's hating on Jeremy Lin? He's the most likable guy ever.
Just go on Facebook and you'll see some Jeremy Lin haters already.
Okay.
If there's a comment about Jeremy Lin, you get 75% likes.
Yeah.
A couple dislikes, a couple hating comments.
Some thumbs up?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. I just think it's an interesting story.
I think we should all take a week vacation and become Jeremy Lin jersey smugglers and head to China.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, there's some money to be made there. That's not a bad idea. I'll talk to Ken and see if we can get some extended leave, throw some of the surplus his way.
What's bigger though? Linsanity or Tebow time?
Obviously, Linsanity.
Yeah, I don't think it's so obvious. It's debatable.
Why? What's your defense of Tebow? Why is Tebow bigger?
What?
Because he lost in the playoffs?
It's over a longer period of time.
Because
I think there were more doubters. Like, he came in, he already had a Heisman Trophy. He came in with that pedigree, and people doubted the fact that he could be a professional. Mm-hmm. Whereas Jeremy Lin had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
If Jeremy Lin doesn't exist, nobody knows. If Tim Tebow falls flat on his face,
right,
people will be like, haha, I told you so.
The pressure was so much bigger for Tim Tebow than it was for Jeremy Lin.
I still don't think Tim Tebow is that great of a player.
He's not.
He
won a lot of games.
And that's why I think Lin is definitely a winner here, because there's no denying that Lin is a talented player. Tebow can't throw accurately, and his team wins despite him. When he can pull stuff out of his butt and throw for 45-yard touchdowns out of nowhere, that's great. But why can't he throw consistently the whole game?
But I'm just talking about the period of them winning. Tebow time, Linsanity, in those periods of them winning. Which one is bigger?
Here is, in the Raptors game the other day, Lin, in his 6th game as an established NBA player, has the guts to call a clear out. Tie game, 10 seconds, clock's running. The 4 Knicks players are tucked away in the corner. They're not doing anything. Lin steps up and knocks down a cold-blooded three-pointer. Let's see Tim Tebow do that.
He did the equivalent of that.
Tim Tebow threw an overtime touchdown pass in the first game.
Yeah, in the first play of OT. He did the equivalent of it.
Okay. I guess my point is that in the NBA, it's much easier to become it's so much more an individual game.
To win the game on your own.
Yeah, to win the game on your own. So maybe Tebow is by default kind of screwed in that aspect.
And I think
I think the Tebow-Lin comparisons are stupid to begin with. I think they're entirely different people.
Says the guy who brought it up.
I didn't bring up Tebow.
It's like, all right.
But
My bad.
You need something to compare it to, though.
Why?
Because that's what we do.
I think in the hype machine is definitely there with Tebow versus Lin. The type of hype that.
Why? Because they're both like religious and nice guys. Is that it?
No idea.
And then they're like underdogs.
Because they went on a streak that no one was expecting them to go on. That's what it is.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, my big thing about Lin is that he has made the Knicks relevant for the first time since 1995.
Maybe, but I mean, it's not like they were a bad team without him.
What's the biggest story in sports right now? The New York Knicks.
Well, yeah.
That hasn't been the case since Patrick Ewing was choking in the playoffs.
Well, I think when they got Carmelo and Amari, that was a
No, I'm glad you
game.
pointed that up, because I don't agree with that. I think that even with Amari and Carmelo, the Knicks haven't done anything, and they got 2 superstars, but they aren't going to go anywhere in the playoffs.
Yep.
They aren't going to win any championships with just those 2 guys. They need this guy, and Lin has done that. Lin has made the Knicks relevant and the talk of the NBA.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean they're going to win championships. Doesn't mean he's going to be able to do it over.
I think they will now.
Not going to do it over the rest of the season.
I think
in 6 games.
I'm not saying that I'm not guaranteeing that they'll win this year, but I like their chances.
That's the other thing.
Convinced. Oh, go ahead.
The Toronto game, if Melo's playing, Lin doesn't even take that shot.
I know.
I'm not so convinced that they're going to be better when those guys come back.
Well, Amari's
and sound. I don't know if Jeremy Lin's going to have the same kind of production that he's having now.
Well, it's because Carmelo Anthony's a ball hog and,
Right.
and he's an isolation guy.
Right. I mean, they talked about how Melo was taking like 30 shots a game, and him and Amari had to sit down in the locker room and have a conversation.
Yeah.
But Amari basically said, hey, you can't shoot 50 times a game. We're not going to win that way.
Well, and I can see things going badly, to be perfectly honest, because what is Jeremy Lin, the humble? Well, he's not a rookie, but finally becoming established. He's going to tell Carmelo Anthony, a bona fide superstar, hey, you better get your act together. Stop
Right.
hogging the ball.
If Carmelo
That's not going to
Anthony,
happen.
if Carmelo Anthony's standing open on the wing and is calling for the ball, you're going to pass him the ball. That's bottom line.
I can't wait to see what happens when those two are on the floor together. That's going to be pretty exciting to see. Because either it's going to blow up in their faces, or it's going to be even better.
Yeah, the thing now though is that the Knicks don't have any more excuses to not be a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Tyson Chandler, Amari Stoudemire, Jeremy Lin, and Carmelo Anthony.
Does everybody here think that Lin is going to be able to keep it up?
I don't think he's going to keep it up at the same pace that he's going.
I think he's going to be like a Rondo.
I think he's going to be good. Yeah, everything I've
No?
seen from him, he's
What
going
are
to
you
be
shaking your head? Well, say something, man.
Rondo, Jeremy Lin will never be as good as Rondo is on the defensive end, for one.
Okay.
Rondo is a freak.
Rondo is awesome. Like, Rondo is... Jeremy, it's not, like, it's 6 games. Like, you can't say Jeremy Lin's going to be anything. Like, what are you going to say? Jeremy Lin's going to have more impact on the NBA than Shaquille O'Neal because he scored more points than him.
I know
like,
this,
in the first 6 games that he started.
I know this
it's
all too
6
well.
games.
When
6 games.
When Brandon Jennings scored 55 points in his 10th game,
Exactly.
and we anointed him the savior of Milwaukee Bucks basketball.
And how are they doing this year?
Yet to be saved.
Well, they were in the 8th spot. They aren't anymore. But, yeah, woo, lose to the Heat in the first round. No, it was the Bulls. Bulls in the first round.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite in the East now? Does it change?
No, you still got Chicago up there. They're pretty good.
You don't think
Miami
that...
and Chicago.
Miami. New York doesn't,
So you're saying Lin is soft on defense? I haven't even been able to watch him play. I've only seen his freaking highlights like everybody else.
Exactly. Everybody sees the hype machine.
I watched him play against the Lakers. But not defensively, I don't really know if he was like superb or anything like that. He's sound. I guess that's what you would say.
Yeah.
He started 6 games. You can't really, like, yeah, he had an awesome 6 games. Hit a game winner. Everybody's going crazy. It's awesome. But it's still 6 games.
The game winner is just the icing on the cake. And I was just thinking about if he would have missed that shot, what would everyone be saying now? If he would have missed it.
It's like when Kobe airballed in that game winner in the playoffs against Utah. Back when he had the fro. This is going way back.
This is like his second season or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
And Kobe hit a game winner against the Raptors like 2 weeks ago. Anybody talking about that? No.
Who's better, Rubio or Lin?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
They're probably about equal, I would say, right now.
Really? I'd give the edge to Lin. He can score more.
Definitely.
And he still
I
gets
disagree. I think Rubio tries to, like, obviously Lin has a lot of assists tonight, but I think Rubio is more of a guy that tries to get his other people the ball than Lin is right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that Rubio's a better passer.
Have you guys seen Limitless, that movie?
Yeah.
That's what I think is going on with Lin. I think he's on that drug that makes him have full brain capacity, and he's just like excelling. But then he's gonna run out.
No, dude, he only had a 3.1 at Harvard.
It makes perfect sense. How else did he? Yeah.
Have we ever seen anything like this before? That's what I was thinking. Has there ever been a player
Lin.
that came out of nowhere to play this good before?
Well, there's been like undrafted free agents that.
I mean, like in the midst of a season, though.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think that's what.
In my opinion, the NBA season is still what, in its first third of the season?
Yeah, well, they're getting pretty close to halfway.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, yeah, it certainly is unique. I think it's a great story. I hope he keeps it up for his sake, because once he starts to suck, What do you think? The New York Post is kind to him?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, boys and girls. I'll leave you with fond memories of Winnie Cooper on this week's Grovcast. I want to shout out to Landon, Kafka, Miles Trump. Thanks for coming by for the great Lin debate, fellas. Hey, I'm going to go watch some Nick at Night. We'll catch you next week right here on the Grovecast.